Hello everybody and welcome back to Deadstick Bush Flight Simulator, the demo playtest. There's a brand new playtest going on Steam. If you missed out on the first one, well, here you go. You can check it out today. But I wanted to do something that I didn't get to do last time because I ran out of time with the playtest, and that is emergency scenarios. We're going to kill our engine, try to land and survive, and even possibly crash the airplane at some point. Let's turn out to the right. I also didn't go exploring. We did pretty much the missions back to back, so we didn't go up here and explore the northern end of the map. And I'm gonna hang out right about 3,000 feet. Let's go ahead and just trim this thing out for 3,000, pull our power back here. There we go. Yeah, look at how beautiful this map is. So, you might be wondering what I'm talking about. So basically, if we were flying along here, we're at 3,200 feet. Well, guess what? We just lost our engine, and we're actually gonna kill the mixture. Look at there's the nose coming down. You don't panic. You fly the airplane first. Aviate, then you navigate, then you communicate. And you can see we're slowing down here. We're gonna be looking for the best glide speed for this airplane. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna assume it's around 60 knots or so, and we're clean. We don't have any flaps in. Let's look around here, see if there's anywhere to go. Nothing really too great over there. Behind us, is there anything? Not really. Actually, that right there is our best option. We do have an airport. So, obviously, we want to try to make that airport if we can. And looking at the winds are going to be coming right down the line there. So, the problem with that is we're going to be landing with a tailwind. However, this is an emergency situation, and based on what I'm seeing right there, I would not try to go down the valley right there and land into the wind. Instead, we're gonna try to keep best speed towards here. Now, I've never done this before. I don't know what to expect. We might bend this thing into the trees. I don't know. But we can use our best friend, and that is the slip. The forward slip is gonna allow us to descend our altitude without increasing our airspeed too much. See right here, we're holding a forward slip right about 70, 75 knots. And it is removing our altitude, which is good. Yep, we'll start turning back towards the airport. I don't want to lose too much altitude here. Maintaining our best glide, and we're not going to put in those flaps until we absolutely need to. So let's see if we can make it to the airport. This is one of those things in the real world where you would not want to be trying to make it back to this airport. But in this case, we're going to go for it. Oh, careful here. Slip it down in there a little bit more. I'm really trying to make it to this runway that was over here. There it is right there, off our nose. Keep it slipped. Bring that nose up. There we go. And we're going to dump in some flaps here. A little bit more. Flap there, and let's just dump all our flaps in and just try to get this thing down in one piece, if possible, because we do not have any engine. Brakes, 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 brakes. This thing does not want to stop. We're going into the trees. Oh, God. Well, there you go. Oh. Use the SOS feature on your phone to call for a recovery. Remember how to use our phone? There we go. SOS, please. Yep. And we want to recover our airplane. $2,675. Oh my God. And here is our invoice charges. Salvage was $2,675. Checkup was $100, and insurance covered it. So we are good to go and do it again. Let's maintain the airplane. Let's repair everything for $10,935. All right, it's a normal day. We're just climbing out of Morton here, headed north. And guess what? We're gonna lose our engine again and try to make a better decision this time. Let's have a look around here. First thing is first, we need to get this airplane to a good glide speed here. Around 60 knots is what we used last time, and it worked out pretty decently, although it does seem like the airplane's very slippery. So I think we need to put those flaps in a little earlier than we did last time before we end up in the trees. I'm looking over here. I see this big, long stretch of, looks kind of like a long field here. So we're going to try to go for this thing the best we can. And we're at 2,400. And I'm going to try to land right along there. We're going to have to be We're gonna have to be very careful because of trees. But we can use that slip again to help us out. There's our forward slip there. Maintaining about this right here. Now I don't want to lose any airspeed I can't recover, so we're going to do our best to not use our flaps just yet. Although it looks like this valley kind of comes to an end right here, so let's turn off to the left. And we'll see if we can actually make it into this valley right here. There we go, still slipping. Yeah, there's some trees, but we do have some open ground between the trees, from what I can see. So let's start bleeding some airspeed off here. It's gonna be a little tricky, but that's all right. Let's go ahead and dump in a little bit of flap here. And like I said, this time we're gonna add more than we did last time, because I want to stop as soon as I possibly can right about here. So let's try it. Without hitting that tree right there. I see that tree. Even though everything is kind of just blending together here in the fall. All right, nice and easy. It does not want to lose airspeed, man. It's so weird. Yep, there's that. Don't hit the tree. We're down. Not too bad. Stick all the way in our lap. Easy on the brakes, easy on the brakes. All right. Come to a stop. We did it. We didn't die on that one, but man, that red is really distracting when you're trying to land with this, but you know what? I didn't choose the time. I just wanted to show you what it's like to try to do emergency procedures like this. So let's hop in, we'll fire it back up, we'll take off, and we'll do it again. Climbing up to about 3,000 feet, I kind of want to try this airport here on our left again. So maybe we'll just kill our engine here. Just kill our engine here. There we go, we lost our engine. What do? You don't panic. Let's shoot for that 60 knots or so. And I'm noticing it's a really good glide speed because look at our altitude. Holding it right here, we're barely going down. And on the AOA, we're right on that donut. I mean, that's about as perfect as it gets right there. Kind of around 55, 60 knots. So we have plenty of altitude right now. And we know where we're gonna go, which is this airport over here to our left in that valley. And we're gonna take that tailwind. Last time the tailwinds would actually killed us. But we're gonna try it again. Well, you know, it's a new day. I don't know what the winds are really doing, other than from what we can see from the smokestacks out in the distance. But that's okay. Yeah, we're fine on altitude right now. Let's have a look around here, trying to maintain our best glide. Yeah, it's on the other side of this hill right here. Yep, down there. Okay, I remember this valley. So we're flying VFR before the night hits. We're going to try to go around these lightly colored trees here and around into there. So actually, you know what? I think we're going to be fine if we just go over this one here. And remember that that is kind of pretty much setting us up straight in to the runway. So let's do that. Just watch out here. Our nose. Again, you can simulate this by just pulling the power back, but I want to have actual stakes in hand here, and that is not the ability to refire the engine. So, all right, we're going to start that slip here. We can see the grass there. That's going to lead us to that runway. And this time we're going to remember to dump those flaps a lot earlier. But yeah, this thing just glides so unbelievably easy. All right. Careful, careful. Start bringing those flaps in here because we have the runway pretty much made right now as we sit. Nice and easy. Bring that nose up. Okay, we have another crazy tailwind, of course. It's all right. Fun, just settle. Just let the airplane settle. It does not like losing airspeed, I'll tell you that. Okay, brakes. Get it down, just get it down, dude. Oh my God, it doesn't want to lose its power at all. Oh, we ground looped it, but we made it. Made it in one piece. Okay, well, that was a little terrifying. Ramp check, yeah, I don't care, buddy. Do we have anywhere we can sleep here? I don't think so. Well, I think there's a way to get a tent. Yeah, we can use our tent. There we go. Let's set this thing down. All right, let's place it right here. Check it out. We got our tent here. There's our airplane. We'll go to sleep, and then we'll get back at it again in the morning. All right, that'll do. 6:45 in the morning. I love that you can camp. It's really, really cool. Man, yeah, it is gusty out. Look at those trees freaking out. All right, we're lined up here. Flaps are set at 2, full speed. Push that nose forward a little bit. Let it go. Full right rudder, full right rudder, full right rudder, full right rudder. Oh my God, the winds are too great. They're too great for us. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, well, the airplane definitely did not like that. They want us to use the SOS feature again. I thought we could just pull this thing out and get it refired, but I don't think that's gonna happen here. It is pretty destroyed. Look at the prop strike we had. Yeah, that would do it, wouldn't it? Yep, it's covered by insurance. Wonderful. All right, let's fix the airplane again. Look at all the damage it had. Prop, wheels, ailerons, airframe, battery. Okay, we're going on to the next day. All right, about 5,000 feet this time. And we're way up here. I'm just flying to the north. I've been flying for a while. And we're gonna continue going north because I wanna make sure that we're in uncharted territory. All right, as good of a time as any. We just lost our engine at 5,000 feet. Sorry, 4,000 feet-ish. Looking around, that might be our best bet right there. Although we have a lot of those little finger things coming out that way. Any big fields on the left? Not really. Maybe there and there. That kind of spires out a little bit there. Not sure what our airspeed is, but let's keep the nose up a little bit right now. And we're never going to make anything there. We might make a sandbar. You could do that out there in the distance, but I'm thinking this is probably our best bet is over here on one of these little fingers. Possibly that one right there. Now we know the wind is out of the north. It has been for a while, so we can land into the wind. Oh, there's waterfalls over there. You see that? Holy crap, I've never seen that before. All right, maybe that right there looks decent too. Oh, we can open our window. Yeah, I mean, that's not bad, but this seems like our best shot. Can't really tell what it's doing, but this is not looking, it doesn't feel good. This does not feel right to me. It seems like we're losing altitude pretty rapidly and airspeed. So maybe I'm going to take back of my thoughts of the airplane being too slippery, but we're actually kind of good right now. I'm looking at that needle. It looks like we're right around 50 knots. We need to go to the left over here. Right on that donut. Yep, here we are over here. This is looking decent. And we just want to dump all those flaps in and hope for the best. Boy, it doesn't look like much of a valley over here anymore, does it? It doesn't look... Oh, there it is right over here. Oh my God, that's a tree right there. Careful. I'm just dump my flaps in here. I can't see a thing. We're going into the trees for sure. Into the trees. Hold on to it. Hang on to it. Oh. Yeah, I'd say we were in a crash. Oh my God. Not much left of that airplane after that. Look at this. I mean, it was pretty much a total loss. That is horrible. I mean, it's pretty much gone from what we can see, but let's rebuild it. 14,970, 15 grand in damage. That is wild. All right, so we've seen just how difficult it is to land on the terrain that you don't know. But in this next one, we're gonna get a lot of altitude and we're gonna do a circle to land with a loss of an engine. So add power here. Fill it out a little bit. Oh yeah, it's nice and calm. There's a tailwind from the right. That's okay. That window's still open from earlier. We're in the air just like that. Yeah, we'll close that window. There we go. Another red sky in the morning. We're passing 5,000 feet right now, and Boyce is just off to our left down in that valley, so we're going to keep on climbing. And I've never flown into the clouds in this game, so I definitely want to try that out too to make this even more disorienting. All right, passing through 6,000 feet here. What I remember on the METAR was that the clouds were like 6,300. So that seems to be accurate. It's 63 right here, and we are in the clouds pretty much on instrument procedures. We can see a little bit of the ground there, but not much. The engine does not want to climb very much anymore. We're at 8,100. But I can see the tops right here, right there off our canopy. It's not liking it, though. Not liking it at all. Okay, getting close to a stall, too. Okay, keep it down. We're still climbing. Very slowly. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be too much higher here, so let's go ahead and just roll off about right here. And now, guess what? We just lost our engine. We're in the soup. We have no way of knowing where any airports or anything like that is. I flew for a long time this direction and then turned to the west, so this is really disorienting, but we're going to do our best to get down now out of the clouds and then start making a decision on getting back to Boyce, which Boyce should be to our south. Last we checked. Oh, careful here. Watch our speed. Nice and easy. Watch our attitude as well. But that's all right. You see, we lost all of our instruments when we did that. Oh, I think we lost everything. That's not good. We're in a descent. I can tell. I can visually see the descent here. We have no reference whatsoever. I think we froze up all of our pitot tubes and everything else, so that's great. And we should be over the airport, though, right? This looks like the valley. Yeah, it does. So Boyce should be right underneath us. It is. It's right there. Look at that. What are the odds of that? I didn't think that was going to happen. Okay. Well, now we're going to do what we kind of wanted to do, which is to circle to land. So we just need to bleed all of our altitude off by circling the airport. And then once we lose all that altitude, we can make a decision on when we want to actually land. But this is working out pretty good for us here. All right, nice and easy. Now we need to land from that. Yeah, we're going to be going that way when we land, but that's okay. So this is a lot more difficult because we have no reference other than visual. Speed, altitude, everything. In fact, let's go ahead and just kill the master off. You would want to do that anyway on before you impacted the ground, like when we were doing those off-field crash landings. We wanted to kill all of the electrical stuff. So there's no fires. All right, we're just going to follow this in right along the ridge line. I think we can make this runway no problem. Wind's going to be from our now right, but it's going to be from the west. And we're going to have a left crosswind on this landing. But it seems like we still have quite a bit of speed right now, which I'm okay with. Just watching. We're going to hug the side of this cliff here before we make our final turn to the runway. Remember, once we lose this airspeed, we can't get it back. We do know that. We just have flaps as our friend. All right, this seems like a little slow here. Let's start our turn. Let it roll around this way. Don't get too steep. All right, we got the runway in sight over there. Let's get some more airspeed here. Yeah, this thing glides really well. I will say that. We're not using any flaps just yet. I don't think we're going to make it to the runway, honestly. But we'll see. We'll see. I said before, this airplane floats way too much. Oh. More flap. Keep up. Yep. And, well, We didn't make it to the runway, but we made it in one piece. That's all that matters. All right. It could have been way, way worse. Let's see where this thing actually ends up landing. Right over here. We're going to roll to the actual runway. That's funny. All right, cool. Well, that's good then. So similar to getting hit by lightning in the previous episode, I want to see if we just black out completely and go to the hospital. I have no idea. But we're going to try to give ourselves a fatal crash. All right, 5,000 feet above the ground, and we're going to do what is called a spin. So basically a power on stall. The airplane's going to start to stall, and we're going to kick that rudder over. And I'm going to kill the power. And we'll see how many times we can spin this thing, but we're not going to recover it. So there it is right there. Oh, big time spin. We're in the clouds, and we are spinning. There's the ground. You can kind of see it a little bit there. All right. That's full rudder, so the airplane does not spin realistically. But we are headed straight at the ground here. This will not be survivable. There's red. We are blacking out, basically. Into the ground. Yes, so you instantly get thrown into the medical center. I can still hear the stall horn in my head. Surgery, 500. Medication, 200. Room charges, 350. Recovery service, 425. Medical center discount of 700. And the insurance covers it all. So we don't pay anything. Yeah, so the stall horn is stuck on for whatever reason. Okay. Well, let's fix it up. We only did 13,520 in damage. Seems like it would have been a lot worse. Turning the master switch on and then off. That killed that. There you go. Well, if you had any curiosity on what crashing is like in this game and what you can expect, and especially with the emergency situations that we're going to deal with, you know, having a cylinder go out or you're losing your engine at any given time, can you survive and what it's like? Well, now we know. And it is survivable in certain situations.